Good morning. So today I'm going to go over some of the problems that I think might have given you trouble from this review sheet. So this review sheet was handed out on Friday or on Tuesday, last time we met. And I also posted a copy blank on yesterday's lesson. So this is what you were supposed to have done remote yesterday. And then I posted the key, this copy, as a PDF on your assignment for today. So go ahead and check your answers. And the first thing I would do is match up my answers with the key. And anything that didn't match up, I'd try to go through the work and see if I can find my mistake. And then if that doesn't work, watch the video. So I'm going to do all but the last one in this video. And then I'm going to do the last problem in its separate video because that seems to be the problem that's giving people a really hard time, and some of you just might only need that, so that way you can skip right to it. So the little glitch I have is that I didn't have this on the review sheet when I handed it out. If you are a Thursday Friday kid, this was not on the review sheet. So pause the video right now and write this equation down and make sure you know how to do it, or try it, and then come back and check the answers. So for this one here, this is a level 2, okay? So this is a two-step equation with decimals and this strange looking coefficient. So the first thing we're going to do is note that the variable is on the left-hand side. We want to get rid of the negative 1.8 and also the 3.2. So this is your constant, and I recommend not putting the plus 1.8 here, like right, so it's lining up with the 3.2, but coming down a spot. And you want to add 1.8 because negative 1.8 plus 1.8 is 0. If you add on the left, you have to add the same value on the right. The next line down, so a lot of you are drawing lines like this. The next line down is going to be, well, what happened after you added 1.8 to both sides? I got a over 3.2 equals, what's negative 3.3 plus 1.8? Negative 1.5. Some of you know the process but are having calculator troubles. Now, this is going to depend on your comfort style. I have this method, a divided by 3.2, knowing that this is division. Inverse operation is to multiply everything by 3.2, and that is likely how your 7th grade teacher taught you. I was asking and pushing for you to recognize what the coefficient of a is here. So what's the coefficient of a right here? I don't know. Well, remember, there's a 1 in front of the a, so I was saying, why don't you rewrite this? And this is so that we can identify slope in other chapters coming up. I asked you to rewrite this like this, so that now you can clearly see that the slope is 1 over 3.2. And so we're just going to divide by the coefficient, which is 1 over 3.2. Dividing by 1 over 3.2 is the same as multiplying by 3.2. A equals, and you want to make sure that you are able to put this into your calculator and get negative 4.8. So level 2, this is definitely going to be, there's going to be something like this on the Delta Math assessment. The next question is more of a check, but what you could do if checks were tough for you is you could go through each, I only gave you 2 options here because I just want to generally discuss it, but you could have gone through each one of these equations here and just solve them. These are level 1 two-step equations, so you could have just solved them and see which one, when you solved it, came out to be 5. Just solve them all. Or you could substitute in 5 and do a check. So when you substitute 5 into this, 2 times 5 is 10, plus 15 is nowhere near, negative 15. So this is 10 plus 15, 35, does not equal negative 15. And then if you look at the last one, I did have kids get tripped up because of signs here. They didn't think this was the answer. So I'm going to replace the x with a 5. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10, minus 5 is negative 15. You could throw this whole part right here, as long as you use the parentheses, into the calculator and press enter, and you're going to get your negative 15 instead of doing each step by step. Whatever works for you is fine with me. Okay? So there's that one. These combining like terms are a simple matter of just checking the key, but don't forget, this is positive 2x. This is negative what? Negative 1x. I would say almost all of you have gotten to a couple practice problems that involved knowing that there is a negative 1 there, plus 5x minus 8x. So you're going to get something x. I would do 2 plus negative 1 plus 5 plus negative 8. In your calculator, 2 plus negative 1 plus 5 plus negative 8. For some of you that really struggle, we had talked about this is combining terms, so we're always adding, and you just add all the coefficients. Make sure that you include the negatives for this, and make sure you can get negative 2. This one doesn't seem too bad. There's 3 x's and 2 y's. Boom. Done. This question here, so this is a level 4, so you're just distributing, and then it's a 2-step. So 2.2 times 8 is 17.6. And then don't forget, you also have to multiply the 2.2 times the negative 4c, giving you negative or minus 8.8c. And that switching of the language is hard for kids. Like I up here said 2.2 times negative 4c. I could also say 2.2 times minus 4c. I kind of can go back and forth with what I call this, okay? That does confuse some kids. So once you get your 2-step, you're going to be very careful here. You don't want to add 17.6 because that wouldn't give you 0, right? That would give you 30-something. Like, we don't want 30-something. We want 0. So you should have subtracted here. This is what I anticipate to be the common error in this question. So minus 17.6, and then divide by negative 8.8 on both sides. Make sure that when you did this, you brought down your minus. This is negative 8.8, so make sure you're dividing by negative 8.8. Boom. Distributive property, 1 ABC4, or put in your fraction into your calculator, times 32 gives you 8x. 1/4 times negative 40 gives you negative 10. Watch your signs, okay? This is like distributing a negative 1. All right, so some of you that didn't get to level 5 might not have had enough practice with this concept. So I'm really glad you did your review sheet. So this is negative 1, or think of it as negative 1 times 4x, which is negative 4x. Then you're going to do negative 1 times negative 2. So a negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. There should be only one symbol here. It should be a plus 2, because negative times a negative gives me positive. This would be my biggest area of concern. Negative 1 times 3y is negative 3y. Okay, and then this equation here, 4 times 7x is 28x. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. This is where the mistake would happen. Bring down your minus x. Bring down your 10 equals 35. After you distribute, which it has to be your first step, you're going to combine like terms. So 28x minus x. So what's the coefficient here? Minus 1, or negative 1. So 28 and negative 1 make 27x. This right here might be a mistake place. Negative 20 plus 10 is negative 10. And then you have a 2-step. I prefer the answer to be in fraction form. I actually prefer to be 3 times 1 plus 2. 5/3 would be like the ultimate answer, like, you know, using an improper fraction. We've talked about that. And then I'm actually going to pause it here and make a second video for the last 3, okay? I'll be right back. I don't know how to stop this. It's my new thing.